All right. All right, we're going live. This is Starship Adventures, the sights and sounds of Earth. We'll give everybody a few minutes to get on in here.
Now we know. And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe!
There we go. All right, guys. As soon as we let a few more people get in here, I'll get started. I just had to get some audio issues squared away, and I do believe I have those squared away at this point.
Rated R starts Friday at select locations. Starts Saturday everywhere.
Sorry about that, guys. Let's see here. There we go. All right, let's get this started here. Thanks for letting me know. I don't know why it is that keeps happening, but it's probably my biggest issue right now. So let me start all over again. Hello, everybody. My name's Ian. This is Starship Adventures. God, where do I start? Not feeling well. Was going to call out tonight, but pushed through it and decided to go ahead and come on for a short show. There's not a lot going on. I've got the driving one is one of the cop watcher guys. You got Times Square above me here. You've got the two you see out on the street. That's Portland, where there's supposedly still something going on, although I don't know what. There's about 10 people out there, kind of protesting, I guess. So we're watching that, and then in the middle, we've got Congress. The Democrats still have it locked down, and we're unable to pass a clear CR. We're unable to open the government back up, and that's because the left, they just they're playing the game. They're playing the game. Whatever, it's a game, and this is all they got left. This is the only power they got left, and so they're going to try their best to push it. All right, as far as weather, there is none. There is no bad weather anywhere in the country tonight. It's very quiet night from coast to coast. As far as weather goes, oh man, I am so tired. I didn't sleep well last night, and yeah, so I had a lot to do today. I did get the tower cam put up. I'll show you guys some views from that eventually. I got the tower cam put up at the top of the main tower, and I put two big bright spotlights on the bottom of it that light up my whole yard, so that's kind of cool. Thank you, Sparky. Hello, Junior. Hello, and the Peace Frog. Thank you for letting me know that. So anyway, yeah. It's not that I'm not well. I don't feel good tonight. I'm just not into it. I put in a 25-hour broadcast weekend, and it just kind of kicked my ass. And I had a busy day today, so it is what it is. All right, but we'll stay on for a little while. We're going to cover the news and see what's going on. As of right now, the government shutdown has entered its 20th day. The Senate has rejected once again the funding bill. The shutdown, now 20 days, has furloughed over 2 million federal workers and halted services like national parks and passport processing. Senate Democrats' proposal to fund through October 31st included Medicare and Medicaid protections, ACA subsidies, failed to secure the 60 votes needed, deepening the impasse. President Trump's blaming Democrats for the stalemate. It is Democrats. I mean, there's no way. The Republicans are offering a clean bill, so it's kind of hard to blame this on them. Trump is, if he said if we reach the end of this week and the Democrats do not open back up, that he's just going to start cutting all these employees that are out. He's just going to start cutting them, because I guess we didn't need them anyway, right? If the Democrats are willing to let them go home and stay home for long periods of time, then I guess we didn't need them in the first place. The latest Social Security COLA announcement figures are due, but those figures will be delayed because of the government being shut down. Amazon Web Service outage cripples internet across the U.S. and Europe. A failure at the AWS, which is the Amazon Web Service data center in Northern Virginia, disrupted service for hours, impacting social media, gaming, and financial platforms for millions of users. Amazon isolated the issue to a single cloud server, restoring most operations by midday. but it highlighted global reliance on a few key infrastructure points. That's a lot of eggs in one basket. The outage affected major sites like Netflix and Robinhood, prompting calls for diversified cloud providers and tech regulators. The No Kings protests, they say, drew 7 million in their anti-Trump surges across the country. Those numbers are being highly contested today. There's a few cities where the crowds were really big, and I was actually surprised myself. But 7 million, I don't know. That's going to be rough. But there was a lot of protests. So it's difficult. The Democrats are so bad about fudging crowd numbers and stuff, it's hard to know what to believe. Rallies focused on rejecting Trump's authoritarian policies. What authoritarian policies do you think they don't like? Yeah, that's kind of what I come up with too. And if you ask them, you hear crickets. That's what, no matter what you ask them, no matter what you say, no matter if you tell them, hey, can you explain this to me? Can you tell me what a fascist is? Yeah. That's right, crickets. That's all you get, crickets. The events did remain largely peaceful, with 0 arrests in most cities, though there were a few isolated clashes that occurred, namely Portland and Denver. Let's see. The appeals court now has cleared the path for National Guard deployment in Portland. The Ninth Circuit overturned a lower judge blocking and allowing President Trump's order to send troops to Portland amid ongoing protests and riots. The ruling cites national security needs, but civil liberties group vow future appeals, warning of militarization of domestic dissent. Whatever. If you guys took care of your own shit in that crap hole town, we wouldn't have to send the National Guard there to clean the shit up, would we? Deployment could begin within days, involving up to 2,000 guardsmen to secure federal facilities in the volatile Oregon region. And remember, they're not going to be primary police officers. They're going to be backup police officers. They're going to be transporting. The biggest thing they're going to do is security of federal properties. That's the biggest thing they're going to do. FBI uncovers suspicious device near Air Force One site in Florida. We're still investigating a suspicious tree stand. It was found near Palm Beach International Airport's Air Force One parking area, prompting a full security sweep. FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed no immediate threat, but linked it to heightened vigilance against potential sabotage during Trump's frequent Mar-a-Lago visits. The incident led to temporary flight delays and boosted Secret Service patrols amid broader concerns over domestic extremism. Remember, most violent acts are conducted by the left. You got to remember that. Almost 80% of mass shootings are people on the left. People on the left are much more likely to use antidepressants too, which is a crazy study that came out just recently. Veterinary care costs surged 40% since 2020. Pet owners are strained. Inflation in vet services has risen nearly twice the general rate, from routine checkups to emergency procedures, hitting middle-class families the hardest. Mobile clinics in areas like Los Angeles are seeing demand spike, while average bills are up 40% for treatment like vaccinations and minor surgeries. Experts attribute the hike to supply chain issues and labor shortages, prompting calls for federal subsidies in pet health care. That's not going to happen. Comey. I don't care about Comey. Former FBI Director James Comey's legal team filed to drop the leak-related charges. Oh boy. Alleging flagrant misconduct by federal prosecutors. You know, it was perfectly fine when they were charging Trump with everything. They charged Trump with everything in all these different courts and all these different levels. They charged him with everything you can imagine. They used it like lawfare. They put all of Trump's people in jail, all of his former lawyers, everybody. They're putting them all in jail, guilty or not, didn't matter. They're putting everybody in jail. Then all of a sudden, dumbass Harris didn't get in as president. Now we've got Trump in as president again. And guess what? Trump's going after some of this corruption, and guess what? Now the Democrats are all, look at him, he's weaponizing the Department of Justice. It's like, you assholes have no short-term memory at all, do you? You guys don't remember just doing this, like going crazy with it. And now you're mad at him for going after the people that used it to go after him? Whatever. Kiss my ass. Trump was already in office. Trump did not weaponize the Department of Justice when he was in office. He didn't do it. Biden did. Or at least his wife in the auto pin. Somebody did it. We don't know who exactly. When it comes to Biden's presidency, we really don't know who did what. It's kind of one of those things. Yep. All right. Hello, the Lone Silencer. Hello, Dominic. Welcome in, guys. I think I've said hi to pretty much everybody else. Sparky's Yard. Thank you for being here. Kind of one of those things. Anyway, U.S. pushes to cut China reliance on rare earth metals for tech security. The Commerce Department announced deals with mineral-rich nations like Australia and Canada to diversify supply chains for critical elements used in EV and defense tech. We've got a lot of these right there. We've got a lot of these precious metals and a lot of these rare minerals that we need to build solar panels and to build cars and to build chips and to build all this important stuff. We have it in Alaska too. And I think we should be on that like first. We need to make our own. Then we need to diversify and get most of our eggs out of China's basket. Okay, Chrysler Permanente workers end 5-day strike with a new contract, whatever. You know, when these unions start striking in these non-right to work states, when these unions start these big walkouts and these big strikes, it means one thing for you. The cost is going up, and it's going up big time. And the thing is these people, these healthcare workers that work in these big conglomerates like this one, for instance. They've got the Kaiser Permanente. They make great money. They make great money, and yet they'll go and do this. It gets me all the time. It's like, you make $120,000 a year, and you guys are thinking about striking. Kiss my ass. All right, that's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm a capitalist, and I don't believe in any kind of price fixing. Hell, I don't believe in unions. I think you work. If we can't get workers, we have to pay more. It's simple. It's easy. It's free markets. But this is a mess. What's going on here? This is going to cost us all a lot more money. Trump is now getting ready, threatening to send National Guard to San Francisco over protest tensions. In response to escalating anti-ICE demonstrations, President Trump warned of guard deployment to the Bay Area if local officials fail to restore order. And they will. Liberal cities never restore order, do they ever? The statement follows similar moves in Portland, citing federal property protection amid clashes at immigration facilities. California Governor Douche Newsom condemned it as federal overreach, vowing state resistance and legal challenges. Whatever, douche. I gotta tell you, Douche Newsom is he thinks he's gonna be the next president. That's the funny part, is watching him posturing and acting like he's gonna be the next president. What a douchebag. All right, I gotta tell you, he's a special kind of douchebag. He's a douchebag from way back with really nice hair. I mean, if you're gonna be a douchebag, you really should have really, really nice hair, because after all, you're a douchebag, right? I don't know what else to call him. If I'm gonna call names, he's a douchebag, whatever. I think it's funny that he's trying to act tough now. He's trying to, see, he's all beta male, beta male, beta male, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey dude, yeah, you need to drop the whole gay routine if you're going to run for president. You need to like toughen up. You need to like alpha it up a little bit. And so what's he do? He cusses in 4 different interviews in a week. He's a, oh, that son of a bitch. I'm not going to put up with that goddamn this and that effing that. And I'm like, Jesus, dude. It takes more than swearing to be an alpha male, okay? Maybe get a pickup truck and a set of testicles. It might help. Newscomb. Yeah, he's something else. I can't stand that guy. I just can't stand that guy. Because he wants to be the president. He ran a city into the ground, then he ran a state into the ground, and now he wants to run your country. Look at the debt that his city and his county and his state have racked up. Anything he's been involved with is billions of dollars in debt right now. And he wants to run the country that's trillions of dollars in debt right now. Could you imagine what that guy would do? I mean, just imagine, just for a minute. No, YT, not really, no. Not even really much protesting. You can see tonight there's about 10 guys out there. The 2 frogs showed back up. I think the frogs are there protesting the killing of mosquitoes. They would really prefer that we stop spraying for mosquitoes. Yeah. I mean, the fire out there that they had, the big fires, all the big fires, that just shows you how screwed up California is. They actually have a video where the chief comes on, the female lesbian chief comes on and informs you that, hey, the most important thing is that when the crew arrives, someone on the crew looks like you. And I'm thinking, no, I'm a retired firefighter. I was the chief of the department. The most important thing is that you can drag my fat ass out of the house. That's the most important thing. All right? And she's like, it's important that everybody sees somebody that... No. And then they ask this dumb woman, they ask her, they're like, don't you think that it's mostly important that the people that go are strong enough and big enough to drag someone out of a burning building? And she comes back with the comment, she goes, maybe they shouldn't be in a building that's on fire in the first place. And I was beside myself. I told Trey, I said, that's AI. No fire chief would ever say that. Nope, it was vetted. She actually said it. The chief of one of the big fire departments out there. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Oh my God. I don't think I'll be able to find it, but
you want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or, you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire. Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
What? I'm gonna let it play again. Let it sink in. Let what this dumb bitch just said sink in.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or, you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire. Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
What? That's victim blaming. You're telling me if I'm laying in my house tonight and my house catches on fire, that's my fault, not yours, right? I mean, that's my fault. It's my house, my fire, right? Right? Not her job to drag me out. Maybe I shouldn't have found my ass in a burning building, maybe, huh? Yeah, what the F? You got that right. Oh my God. When I saw that, we played it over and over again. I'm like, I cannot believe what I'm even watching on this right here. I just can't believe it. Wow. Wow. Yes, Wingnut. I don't know about 12. We're going to get probably 4 or 5 on the redistrict and probably 4 or 5 on the census. So yeah, probably 10 or so. Probably 10 or so seats, I would think. Within the next 5 or 6 years. Yeah, Florida. If Florida is going to literally, we're going to be like in charge. It's gonna be pretty cool. Yep, I got this all working, and the problem is the light bulbs white out the screen at night. I got a traffic stop going on right down from my house here, and right at the intersection. But you can't really see much because it's all whited out. You can see there's a traffic stop there, but there's a lot of traffic stops at this intersection right here. It's kind of in the center of the community, basically, and so there's a lot of traffic stops here, and unfortunately, the sheriff's department here is just overly aggressive in this area. Unfortunately. Let's just do this. See if I can pull it up here. Pull it up there. Let's see what we got here. I got 3 tower cameras. I have 3 different towers. Oh, it's not that one. I pulled up the wrong one. Confirm. I have 3 towers. Each tower has a set of cameras on it. One has 4, one has 2, one has 1. And with these towers, I'm able to capture whatever's going on. I got this on my Tower 2 cam. Which is not the highest resolution, but you can still see it. So let's see. see if I can pull this up here. Why not, right? There you go. That's a live traffic stop going on right outside my studio here. I'm looking over at the neighbor's house across the intersection. At traffic stops about 200 feet away, 300 feet away from where I'm at. So I tried to get it with the other camera because it has better resolution, but and it's higher. You can actually see more. But I put lights on that camera, and I'm going to have to build a little shield or something to shield the camera from the lights. I kind of figured I would have to, and yeah, I was right. Yeah, Florida's going to get a bunch more seats. Here's the thing. I do believe that the Democrat Party, as something big's about to happen with the Democrat Party, and I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be, because they're literally in a mess right now. I mean, they're better off starting over, starting a new party, starting the Socialist Party or whatever. I don't know, but I mean, they're just in a mess right now. Their approval rating's the lowest it's ever been on Quinnipiac, and also Rasmussen, both of them showing poll numbers that are literally in the upper 30 percentile to 40. We're talking low numbers for party approval rating, and I don't know what the answer is as far as. What do they do? Because you would think after that slaughtering they got on election night, you would think that they would start changing their brand. They would start trying to get back the black males, trying to get back the working class blue collar, trying to get back the unions, trying to get back the Hispanic vote. But no. They just doubled down with the LGBTQIA2S plus crowd, and they just keep yelling racist and Nazi, and they just keep doing all the same things they keep doing. And the truth is, they don't have anybody to run. They have nobody to run. Who do they got? Boot Edge? Who do they got? Beto O'Rourke. I mean, who do they got? Kamala Harris. You know, she's polling number 1 right now as heir apparent. Kamala, I lose big time Harris, is actually polling above Douche Newsom right now to be the Democrat heir apparent for the next time around for president. What the F? I'm like, you're kidding me, right? No, because Democrats are dumb, and they love dumb. They love failure candidates. That's why they try to get Boot Edge elected all over the place. They tried to get Beto elected all over the place. That Stacey Abrams woman, they've tried to get her elected 3 different times. Kamala Harris, they'll now try to get her elected 3 different times. Bill Clinton's wife, they tried to get her elected 3 different times. Tim Walz, the birthday clown, what a loser. Tampon Tim. Look at all these idiots. J.B. Pritzker. They're all idiots. The Democrats have no one to put up. They have no bench. They have no backup. They have nobody. So rest assured, unless they produce, I don't know, they're going to have the aliens produce somebody for them, because they literally don't have an heir apparent. We do. We already know J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio are going to be the ticket. We already know that, and we're happy with that. The poll numbers show that people are very happy with that. And so there's no way the Democrats could ever win in the next presidential election. That's why they all keep coming out and saying, Trump's not going to have another election. He's going to stop election. Because he's the king, right? Because he's the king. If he was the king, he wouldn't have let you go out and protest. If he was a fascist, he wouldn't have let you go out and protest. He would have rounded you up and arrested you. Tonight, Trey, when he started the show, my host, Trey Radel, came on the air, and he was making fun of the fact of that right there, and it was just hilarious. Well, they're going to try, Junior, but the thing is, we've done so much now to make it difficult for them to do that. Most of the swing states are having clear elections now, and it's becoming more and more difficult for them to do that. And Wingnut, you're correct. They should be moving towards the center. But the right has actually moved towards the center, and the left has moved further left. And that is just hurting the left and helping the right. Texas is going to get a bunch more seats. They're going to get 4 or 5 on the gerrymandering thing. They're probably going to get 4 or 5 on the next census. I'm telling you guys, there's going to be a huge shift in power. There's going to be 3 huge shifts in power in the next 6 years. Okay? There's going to be the midterm elections. There's going to be the next big election for president. And then right after that, the next census. All of these things are, all 3 of these events, and if you want to say it, another midterm right after that, a year after that, a year after the census. If you look at it, that's 4 times where they can lose seats and we're going to gain seats. They can't get them back, because I know what's going to happen. They're not going to count the illegals this time around on the census. If they don't count the illegals on the census, the left is screwed. They may never see power again. That's why I said it really is incumbent upon the left right now to come together and say, look, we have to pick a new direction. We have to pick who is our party. Because right now, their party is literally all of the extremist factions in the country all enrolled into one party, and the right has become normalcy, basically. If you live a fairly normal life on a fairly normal street in a fairly normal town, go to a fairly normal job, kids go to a fairly normal school in a fairly normal state, in a fairly normal county, in a fairly normal city, you're probably a Republican. If you're a crazy and you live in a big city and you do weird things and you're just nuts, yeah, I mean, do the math. I mean, come on. Who's the people on the right? The people that own houses, the people that own their cars, the people that have their shit together, the people that move outside of town to get away from that bullshit and they go own property. Who's the left? People who live near social services. People who live in city centers, people who live near soup kitchens, people who are homeless, people who live in Section 8 strip housing. It's crazy when you think about it. I hate that my tower cam is like not going to be worth anything at night. I'm going to have to go up there and put like a shield guard on those lights so that they shine down but not towards the camera. Yeah. Yes, the UK is reaching insolvency. That's correct. It will reach insolvency soon. There's going to have to be some big changes over there. They were right to get out of the EU. They were right to do that, I believe. That the EU is sucking them dry. But I think they've let way too many illegals in. They've let way too many legals in. Their culture itself is shifting. Europe is not a good place to live right now. You got war to your south, you got war to your east, and you've got bankruptcy and insolvency in almost every country of one kind or another. The French can't even protect their own damn crown and jewels, for Christ's sake. Yeah, Tony Blair could teach him a thing or two. Yeah. So yeah, the good news is we are going to pick up a bunch of seats. Florida, Texas, I think Georgia stands to pick up one or two. Tennessee, and some other conservative states too. There's going to be a bunch of them. That's why I said the left had a bunch of things on their side that they're slowly losing. Number one, the left has the gerrymandering. Up until now, most gerrymandering, meaning the changing of district lines for congressmen in order to make different parties more prevalent, that's gerrymandering, named after a Democrat named Jerry that mandered the map so much that they named Jerry meandering after him, and they just call it gerrymandering. Anyway, the point is the Republicans this year, Trump said, look, the Democrats have been gerrymandering these maps for 50 years. What the F is your problem? You go and gerrymander them back. Gerrymander them back or gerrymander them for us. I don't care, but I'm sick of them having this huge advantage because of the way the lines are drawn across the state. So for the first time ever, the Republicans are gerrymandering. You know what? If you can't beat them, join them. That's where we're at right now. They're not going to stop doing it, so we're going to start doing it. That's right. That's where we're at right now. So we're going to gerrymander that bitch all the way to hell and back, okay? And that's going to get us a bunch of seats right there. All right? And that's going to change the power. Besides that, just the voting block itself is swinging more right. Every single demographic except white women shifted right. I told you guys that the other night. You guys were, bunch of you guys got the answer right on that one. So when you really look at it and you start thinking about it, it's going to be a fun 10 years. I don't know where the Democrats are going to be when it's all over with, because once we get done with the gerrymandering, and we get all those seats like that, and once we get a 60% in the House, then we can pretty much do whatever we need to do, and that's going to be nice. And I think for the first time in a long time, we're going to see Christ come back into this country in a big way. We're going to see this division between church and state needs to be relaxed a little bit, especially when it comes to schooling. I'm not saying we should preach to kids in public school. I'm just saying it needs to be relaxed a little bit. We need to look at ways that we can relax this just a little bit. Arby's. Where do you see Arby's? All right, you're freaking me out because I had Arby's for dinner. Where do you see Arby's? I'm freaking out now. Did you? That's a weird coincidence. Yeah, I love Arby's, man. I love Arby's. It's good stuff. Yeah, I ate there tonight. Had the roast beef classic double with curly fries, and the lady was nice. I know her. She gave me all kinds of good sauce. I love the Arby's sauce. I think Arby's sauce is what it's all about. So anyway, yeah, it's gonna be a fun time coming up, because we're gonna see this amazing shift in power that's coming. Because also, as things get better, and they are getting better, look where gas is at, guys. Gas here is in the 275, 280 range right now. We had somebody call the show earlier from somewhere. I think he was in Texas, and it was like 259. So it's coming down. We may get close to $2 a gallon. That's helping the economy like you wouldn't believe. The first thing that dolt Joe Biden did when he got in there was shut down the pipelines, shut down exploration, shut down new pumping. He was shutting everything down. Shut it down. And guess what? That immediately drove gas prices up. So then what does the idiot do? He releases our oil reserves to bring it back down again artificially when it went up, because he made it go up. And then he releases the reserves. I think he just wanted to release the reserves. I think he just wanted to put this country in a really bad position, because he did that a lot with a lot of things. He gave away all that reserve oil to bring prices back down when his party drove the prices up on purpose, because they don't want you driving gas-powered cars. So they purposely want the prices of gas up. That's why gas is $6 a gallon in California. Do I really? Wouldn't surprise me. I'm an absolute pig. Anyway, I love me so. I'll get Arby's sauce all over the place, man. I love me some Arby's sauce. All right, looks like we've got maybe the 12th and 13th protester just showed up. Really not a lot going on. I mean, we're watching it, but there's not a lot going on. Like I said, guys, I'm not going to do a big long show tonight because I am not feeling well. Wingnut, you can always pay for extra meat. Almost always. Oh, God. Every place has gotten so damn expensive. Arby's is expensive, but I find Culver's is off the chain. For a 3-piece fish dinner, they're wanting $21 and that $20, and that doesn't include the drink. I'm not spending $25 to walk into a burger joint and get some fish. Whew. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Scientists are divided on synthetic biology to save endangered species. A narrow vote by the International Union for Conservation of Natural approved limited genetic engineering for species like the black-footed ferret, sparking ethical debate. Proponents argue it could revive extinct populations. Critics fear unintended ecological disruptions from designer organisms. You guys watch Jurassic Park? That's what they're talking about. They're talking about resurrecting things that have been long dead in order to get the benefits that we would get from having it. The U.S. researchers led trials, but regulations lag, with cells and with calls for congressional oversight on biotech releases. So it's one of those things, I don't know if it's good or not, but the government's going to step in and F it all up anyway. Car loan defaults have spiked. Delinquency rates hit 4.5% for auto loans, 2.5 up from 2.5 pre-pandemic. Driven by high interest rates and stagnant wages, borrowers from 21 and 22 when rates were low and now face payments 30% higher amid job market woes. Banks are repossessing vehicles at a record level, prompting Fed warnings of broader consumer debt risks. All right, and Trump is now urging Zelensky to go ahead and accept Putin's terms in the Ukraine war. You know, I hate to say that Ukraine needs to just give up what they've lost, but I don't know what to do here. What do we do? You know, I don't want Putin to win any more than anybody else does, but we can't just keep sending resources over there indefinitely. We've sent billions of dollars worth of weapons over there that have been fired at the Russians. Meanwhile, the Chinese have sent billions of dollars to the Russians, and those weapons are being shot at the Ukrainians. It's a proxy war. It's bullshit. It needs to end. NATO needs to step up. I know they're not a part of NATO, but NATO is for the stability of the entire region. And so, I don't know. There needs to be something done here. This is ridiculous. I kept thinking Putin's getting beat up bad enough that maybe he'll just, go ahead and take one of these agreements just to get out of this war for a while. President Trump pressed Ukrainian President Zelensky to negotiate peace on Russia's conditions to end the bloodshed right away. The remarks align with U.S. aid cuts totaling $500 million were paused last week, shifting from Biden-era support plans. Kyiv rejected the overture, calling it surrender, while NATO allies expressed alarm over potential alliance fractures. Zelensky has to understand he's not going to win this war, but he can get a stalemate right now and keep his country. You know, no one ever wins war. You know, after World War II, we sat there with the Japanese and we signed the surrender. We had to cook 2 of their towns to get them to do it. And the Germans, we finally sat there and accepted their surrender. It literally took the Russians and the Allies marching on Berlin to finally get the Nazis to relent. It took Hitler shooting himself in the bunker and his generals accepting the surrender to try to save as many lives as they could after that. But if you look at it, look what it took to get people to that point. And then by the time we signed those surrenders, there was nothing left of Europe. There was 2 big glass bowls where towns used to be in Japan. Pearl Harbor was still in ruin. Midway and all the other islands on the way, back and forth, all destroyed. Bodies floating in the water. And what? Did anybody win those wars? Did anybody win World War II? No. We lost hundreds of thousands of people. The Allies, the Germans lost people. The Japanese lost people. Everybody lost people. The Aussies fought. The UK fought. Everybody that fought lost people. And at the end of it, nobody won. And so someone needs to sit down with Putin, or not Putin, with Zelensky and say, look, dude, you got 2 choices. This goes on, and you eventually lose, because you will eventually lose. You lose a little bit of ground every day, and it's finite at this point. Or you settle. You settle. And then you fortify what you have. And you get your people comfortable. I hate to say it, as many people as he's lost, he's got enough places to resettle everybody now. Resettle them where they're at. I know that sounds terrible, but you got to look at it from a logistical point of view. Settle who you've got, end this thing now. Give Russia some of it, keep some of it. Work the negotiations, get as much back on your side of the wall as possible, and then let's build a wall. And this time, let's build a wall and let's do it right. And then join NATO. And then let's get NATO where it needs to be. And then we won't have this problem again. And then Russia can do their thing, and the Ukraine will still have quite a bit of area that's known as Ukraine. Because right now, as it goes, Russia will eventually win. It's in the cards. As help starts to wean off over the years of this proxy war going on, as it starts to wean off, Ukraine will begin to lose more and more ground. Russia has all kinds of help. Yeah, I know. Putin wants the USSR back. You're absolutely correct. Yep. Yeah, the mammoth they've been working on. And I think, do we want to bring these creatures back? Are they going to bring back other diseases or anything? I mean, we don't know. I don't know. I'm a little concerned. Yeah. Well, I'm going by the main. When it comes to Hitler, I'm going by the mainstream belief that he took his life in the bunker. I understand there's a bunch of theories out there. I get it, and I don't know which is correct. I'm not litigating that tonight. Yep, but Ukraine needs to understand that they're going to end up, if they're not careful, they could end up losing enough that they don't even have an identity anymore. And that if it stops right now, he can begin to put it back. He can build infrastructure. But I don't know. Just like with so many other things, this has been going on for so long. Yeah, Victor, I'm not even saying that's bad. I don't know. The whole Jurassic Park thing was pretty cool. Obviously, you can't put Newman in charge of the electricity or whatever. Newman. All right, guys, I've been on an hour. Is there anything else? I'm going to be signing off early tonight. Yeah, she probably is. You gonna say good night to everybody, little girl? She's doing good, guys. She's eating and drinking and doing all the things a cat does. And she's still sneezing really bad. She's still got lung just full of fluid. But she's looking better. She's walking around better. She still has to use a chair to get on the counter. She can't quite jump straight on the counter. But we're getting her. We're getting her there. Isn't that right? You look so sad. You look so sad. Oh. She's so sweet. I'm so glad she didn't die. I thought she died. She disappeared. She got this, she was getting this cold in her nose, and then she disappeared. And I'm like, oh Christ, 5 days. Then she wandered back up, all emaciated and everything, but I've got her back. I've got her eating and drinking. And it's all coming out the other end. That's good. Yeah, well, I've got so many cats here, and there's so many cats from the neighborhood that come through and eat that they get sinus infections and lung infections and stuff. They call it kennel cough. And yeah, they do get it. Yes, deploribus, you are correct. I do believe that the dynamics on Earth, both atmospheric and gravitational dynamics on Earth, were probably different during the dinosaur age, and therefore resurrecting a standard dinosaur today would probably not work. I agree with that. Some people believe that that meteor that made the Gulf of Mexico and probably ended, or I'm sorry, the Gulf of America, and probably ended the life of the dinosaurs, probably also changed our planet in crazy ways. And it could have even changed our gravitational field. It could have changed weather. It could have changed even our orbit around the sun. So there's a lot of things that could have been changed by an impact that large. Yeah, I've had them die in my arms, and we go get the antibiotics. I don't have any antibiotics for her. She's made it through. By the time she got back where I could find her, she was already on the mend. So it was just a matter of getting her to eat and drink. The hardest thing with the cat's getting them to drink again. And I went and got the eyedropper, and I was going to start, I got a syringe, and I was going to start giving her water, just in her mouth, not in her skin or anything, just in her mouth. I was going to start squirting it in her mouth, and I went and got it all ready, and next thing you know, I look over and she's drinking. So I'm like, well, that's awesome. So I don't even have to start that. Because sometimes when they get like this, you have to hydrate them. And I don't have all the equipment right now to put it under her skin. So nor do I have the saline to do it. So you open their mouth and you just fucking squirt it down their mouth until they get enough water. Yeah, a lot of times, I have a vet that works with me. I got a lot of cats, but I can't take them for checkups and stuff like that. But when they get really bad, I save up the money and I take them in. I have to do what I have to do. Yeah, I'm sure the dinosaurs died from man-made global warming. Is probably what happened. Somehow it had a retroactive effect. Somehow it changed history through time or something. Yep. A lot of times, I have to see if they can get through it on their own. If they can't, then I go get the antibiotics. Sometimes I can, sometimes I get a hold of antibiotics. Like, I was given some antibiotics for a tooth. Come to find out, it's the same exact stuff you give cats for skin and tooth and stuff like that. And I kept that and used it for years. I just poke a little hole in the thing, sprinkle it on their food, and I would figure out how many doses per pill. It's usually like 8 doses per pill. So you have to kind of split it into 8 doses. Yeah, I don't have health insurance. I only work 5 hours a day producing that radio show. It is not a full-time job. It pays okay, but it's not a full-time job. And so I don't have health insurance. And I even have a client that does health insurance, and he's offered me his best price. The truth is, I can't afford it. If I get cancer, I will just die. Because the truth is, basic catastrophic insurance for me right now is $500 a month. And that doesn't cover anything until we get in the hospital after the first $2,500. Then it starts to cover. And it only covers at 80%. It's catastrophic care. $500 a month. How could anybody afford that? That's crazy. That's crazy, stupid money. And so, just insurance is what it is. I'm just taking the risk that I don't need it. Yeah, I clean her eyes a couple times a day. I've got these like wipes with witch hazel. Well, I'm glad to hear somebody got some insurance. Once you get over age 40, it starts getting pretty expensive, and yeah, it's crazy expensive. There's just no way I could even afford it, so I don't even bother. Yeah, you know, the whole thing is just stupid, but what do you do? It's the system. I don't know of a better system. I certainly don't want the government doing it. So it is what it is. I just don't get sick. I try not to either. I got that COVID like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and it's the third time I've had COVID in the 6 years it's been around. Because remember, COVID-19 that started in 2019. That's where the 19 comes from. And it got big in 20. Here it is, the end of 25, and I've only gotten it 3 times. Yeah, I had my cat Queezer that I had for almost 17 years. She was very special to me, and she got cancer in her belly, and I had to put her down. And that one hurt me more than any of my thing. I had a cat that got cancer on her jaw. I had to put her down. That was Miss Ziva. That had to put her down 2 or 3 years, 4 years ago, whatever it was. She was kind of the last of my cats that I had before I moved here. I brought her with me. Yeah. Yeah, we had one here that had a tumor for the longest time, and the guy across the street took it to the vet, and the vet says it's fine, it's benign. I was like, why wouldn't they just take it out? I don't know. Yeah, putting cats down is one of the hardest things I have to do, because I get real close to my kitty cats. Well, I got it the 3rd time, and it hit me just about as hard as the 1st time, and it hit me about the same as the 2nd time. The 1st time, I was completely down for 7 days. The second 2 times, including this last time, I was down for about 5 days. Both times I allowed a full 48 hours with no fever before I went back to work. Because when you work at a broadcast place, you try to be really careful not to make anybody sick. Yeah. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you guys go. It's 10:10 here on the East Coast, 7:10 on the left coast, and this is the Sights and Sounds of Earth. I hope you guys enjoyed it tonight. It's been a short show. There's not a lot going on, but I did want to go through the news with you and at least make an appearance here and say hi to everybody. I will be back tomorrow night for our standard Sights and Sounds show. Right now, all of our secondary feeds are down. We've been having something weird going on with the electricity here. I don't know what it is. 3 days in a row, I've taken these bizarre power hits where I come in and half my stuff's up and half my stuff's down, and things don't want to power back up, and I got to power cycle monitors to get them to come back on. That usually is indicative of a hard power hit. And so I think they're working on the lines down the street or something, because I'm getting these hard power hits every day, 3 days now. And so tomorrow morning, I'm going to come out and try to start booting things back up again and see if I can get things to stabilize. But for right now, that's it. When I go off tonight, it's dark. It's rare that the Starship Studios has nothing going out, but that's going to be the case. Now, I don't think it's solar flares. I think it's just, Florida Flicker and Flash, my power company. It is what it is. Anyway, no big deal. The main thing is that I'm able to be here and we'll be able to be live on this show, and then I will be doing some other things with those other computers. If you guys have got any ideas on things I could broadcast or different things or anything, I'm very surprised the city scanners didn't take off. I think it's a lot just because nobody can find that channel because it's still young and very obscure. But I did these city scanners. I'm even paying $10 a month for the live call tracker out of LA, so you can see the calls coming in. And I have the live scanner up and the tracker for the aircraft and everything. Nobody cares. I cannot get these streams to catch any traction at all. Yeah, it could be something. It could be Ghosts in the Machines for all I know. Anyway. All right, yeah, hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe and hit the bell on this channel. Don't hit the bell on Starship After Dark because it'll drive you nuts when I start putting everything back up tomorrow. But that's it. I'm going to let you guys go live from Starship Studios in North Fort Myers. My name's Ian. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth, right here on Starship Adventures, and we are on every night at 9 p.m. right here on YouTube, broadcasting worldwide. We'll see you guys tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channel. Have a good night, everybody, and a safe tomorrow. 7 3s.